Good morning. This is Dr. McDaniel. I'm a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist in New York City, and I'm bringing to you all things health-related for women. Thank you for joining me at the corner today. And let's see, as the title states, I'm speaking about MCT oil today. Now, I've been using, I guess I shouldn't say using, I've been ingesting MCT oil in my coffee mostly, and sometimes tea. Coffee and tea for about three years or so now, maybe 4 years or so. And I thought I had actually prepared everything to do this presentation over a year ago, and I just got distracted and I never did the presentation. Thought about it because I've been speaking with some patients about MCT oil, and I realized I didn't do this presentation. So I'm going to do the presentation today. Have a lot of notes to try to make sure that I give the salient features, the bullet points that I want to express. But MCT oil, MCT stands for, sorry, I have allergies today, my nose is itchy. MCT stands for medium chain triglycerides, and triglycerides are basically just fats, so the fats that our body produces when we take in food. It turns into triglycerides. So medium chain triglycerides, as the name implies, are in the middle length of the usual triglyceride length. So we have short chain, long chain, and medium chain. Most fats are long chain triglycerides, and the medium chain triglycerides, for whatever reason, I guess it's a Goldilocks phenomenon, they're the easiest for our body to digest. So out of those three options, short, long, and medium, the medium are the only ones that don't require bile. Whenever we take in fats, our gallbladder produces bile to emulsify, to break them up into small little bite-sized chunks for our intestines to absorb, and then for it to get through the intestinal absorption, through our bloodstream, and to get processed through the liver. The medium chains are the only ones that don't require bile. And because of that, they're quickly absorbed and they get processed to the liver very quickly. And because they're so quickly absorbed, they're used immediately, because the body tries to be as efficient as possible. They're used immediately for energy, and they don't get stored as fat like the long chain ones do. So, medium chain triglycerides, or MCTs, are available in a lot of things that we can take in. I shouldn't say a lot, and a few things that we can take in. Predominantly coconut oil and full fat dairy products all have MCT in them. You can also find MCT in palm kernel oil. And surprisingly, breast milk produces MCT. So I guess breast milk is a form of full fat dairy. So you think of it that way, even though we're not cows, but it's a form of full fat dairy because milk is a dairy product, and whether it's breast milk or an animal breast, it still has MCT. So that's amazing, and it's nice. It's a nice thing to acknowledge, because medium chain triglycerides are really, really important in brain health. And our brains predominantly prefer ketones over glucose as a source of energy, and MCTs, they immediately allow for ketone production. So that's really helpful for our brains, which I'll go into in a moment. So when we buy MCT oil from the health food store or drugstore or the supermarket, it's extracted from one of two sources, either from coconuts or from palm kernel. So if it's extracted from coconut oil, that's the best. It's much better than the palm kernel because it has more anti-inflammatory properties to it. And the main advantage of MCT oil is that it's really strongly anti-inflammatory. So I'm going to list off some of the benefits that we can get from taking in MCT oil in a moment. What I'll say first is that I always put first thing in the morning, like now I use about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of MCT oil, but if you're just starting off, you'll just want to use about a half a teaspoon of MCT oil, either in your coffee or in your tea. And that really gives you a boost. It helps boost your energy in the morning, and it really aids in mental clarity because, as I said, it goes directly to the brain, so it increases the energy in the brain. And then I'm going to read off a couple of the other benefits of MCT oil. So one of the main benefits, as I said, is that it really increases energy and mental clarity. So it boosts the energy and the mental clarity because it promotes ketone production, which our brains prefer over glucose. And because it also increases mitochondrial mass. So it also increases energy because mitochondria, that's kind of the energy or powerhouses of energy in our body. So it increases the activity of the mitochondria by increasing the mass. It also will help support weight loss because it decreases hunger. It promotes weight loss by increasing the release of two hormones, peptide YY and leptin. And I've mentioned previously that leptin is the hormone that helps us to feel satiated, tells our body that we're no longer hungry. So it increases leptin, it increases peptide YY, and because of those two, it increases the satiety and the feeling of fullness. And also it increases ketones, and ketones also help to decrease hunger, and it helps to reduce cravings. So it'll help increase satiety, decrease the time length of time that you can go in between meals, and it decreases cravings. It also provides for people who have issues with brain fog or Alzheimer's, because it provides an alternative source of energy opposed to glucose, the ketone bodies. It helps improve mental clarity for people with cognitive dysfunction. As I mentioned, it's anti-inflammatory, and that's been proven because if you do blood draw checking for C-reactive protein, scientifically in the blood studies, it definitely decreases C-reactive protein. It also can help decrease or manage propensity towards diabetes because it increases insulin sensitivity, and it helps to stabilize blood sugar. So that's super important. It's also really helpful for the intestinal system because it helps to repopulate the microbiome. It's an anti-inflammatory, so that helps with the gut health, and it also acts as an antimicrobial and an antifungal, so it helps to decrease propensity towards irritable bowel syndrome by, suppressing poor bacteria in the intestinal system, and it also suppresses cytokines in the intestinal system, which will help to promote good bacteria and yeast and fungal aspects. Also, let's see, there are 4 types of medium chain triglycerides. Or the MCT has 4 types of acids that are present. So the 4 types are C6, C8, C10, and C12. The number refers to the number of carbons in it, and the one that you'll want to go for is the C8, and that's because C8 is the easiest to digest. So it you get the energy benefits the fastest, and it does not promote any fat storage. So if you can get one that has high C8, the one I get, so I'll get a second here. I keep it here at the office because I put it in my coffee or in my tea at the office. And again, I'm not getting any kickback from the company at all. They don't know that I'm using this at all. This is called, I buy it on Amazon, just taking the wrapper. I buy it on Amazon. It's called Intentionally Bare, and it's organic MCT oil, and it's 99, it says pure C8, and that's because it's 99 point, hold on, I think it's like 99.2 or something like that. It is, 99.2% C8, and the other 0.8 is C10, and there's 0 C12. And C8 is the best, C10 is second best, so it's the 99+% perfect, and it's organic, so there aren't any pesticides and all of that used when they processed it. And then let's see, I think I'm sliding into home base here. So yeah, so improves the gut bacteria and microbiome, also supports the lining of the intestinal system, because once you decrease inflammation and you promote a good microbiome, that also helps the lining. Oh yes, also it helps to decrease the bad cholesterol, which is LDL, and supports or increases the good cholesterol, which is HDL. I already spoke about the mental clarity, anti-inflammatory, reduces fat storage, stabilizes blood sugar. Right. I feel like I'm missing one other thing. What is that? Yep. Also helps to fight infections because of the antimicrobial aspects. Improves digestion because it improves the intestinal system. And let's see. Oh, and also, what was it? Improves thermogenesis. Where is that at? Right, so it supports metabolism, increases metabolism by improving thermogenesis. And thermogenesis is just the process of burning fat. So it helps to burn fat, decreases the storage of fat, increases your metabolism, increases ketones, makes you feel full, and decreases cravings. So it's awesome. I've been putting it, and really, when I slack off, sometimes I just make my tea or coffee and I forget to put the MCT oil. Weeks when I do that, I really feel like I have more water retention when I do that, and I don't keep the bloating down and the water retention. And I notice when I put the oil in my morning tea or my morning coffee, I feel better. I don't know if it's just the energy, but I feel like I don't have any bloating or water retention. So it really does work really, really well. In the program that I have, I ask all of the participants to always put a couple of drops, or ideally a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of MCT oil in their morning green tea or in their coffee, at least 1 or 2 cups every morning. If you do that, you will notice an improvement, not immediately within a day or two, but you'll notice it within like a month or 2. So it really does work really, really well. And I guess that is all I have to say about MCT oil. So I hope that's been helpful information on MCT oil and why it's helpful to use it. Please, if you like the content on this channel, hit the like, subscribe, follow buttons. Join me on the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel does have everything nicely organized, and I have playlists. I have a whole bunch of playlists. And check out the podcast if you enjoy listening to podcasts. The podcasts are about, I think they're about a year behind the YouTube and the Facebook, but if you enjoy podcasts, it's nice. And then if you click the bell, it will notify you when these presentations are coming out. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.